Welcome in, Taurus. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. For those of you that are new, welcome in, guys. My name's Lisa. Welcome to Say It's Soul Tarot. For those of you returning, welcome back. Again, hope everybody's doing great. So, Taurus, this is going to be your general love reading for the month of August. It is a general read. If you are in need of a personal read, feel free to reach out to me. It's just sayitsoultarot@gmail.com. The email address is in the description of this reading as well on my homepage. I did want to give a big thanks to those of you who support the channel, so thank you so much. I did already pull your oracle cards. This is your longer read, so usually for your monthly, I pull a bunch of oracles. I'm going to clarify some of these cards, pull some feelings, actions for the month of August, as well as pull some hidden messages from your person's higher self at the end of the reading, so stay tuned for that. But as always, guys, general read. So Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the sign of Taurus. And yeah, so let's dive on in. I'm going to talk about you first here, Taurus, and you can kind of determine if you feel like that's kind of been your energy, then definitely could be a message here for you guys. So you're coming through here in the month of August, really thinking. So I don't know. I feel like you've been a little bit disappointed, maybe thinking about, making a big change. You could be thinking about work, are you happy in your job? Do you need to make some changes? What changes do you need to make to kind of like make you feel more fulfilled, or, um, reevaluating even your goals, your dreams here? Really focusing on, your happiness, what lights you up, what makes you happy. Is it this situation? Is it related to this person? Doesn't have to be, but I do feel like for a lot of you, you are thinking about this person. Obviously, you clicked on this reading, unless I'm talking to a cross watcher here. That being said, here, for some of you, I feel like either in August there is going to be, I feel like maybe a misunderstanding that kind of gets blown out of proportion here, or something that has already happened in the past that you're feeling bad about. So maybe ask yourself, like, am I feeling bad about a situation with this person, or how things ended with this person? So for some of you, carrying around this guilt, this is from the soul's journey. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. So do what you need to do here, Taurus. Spirit's encouraging you to, process those feelings, get rid of them, let them go. And sometimes, in order to get, to really move forward here, to kind of get unstuck, is to, you could write a letter to this person, not give it to them, and then burn it, bury it, whatever you want to do. You could also reach out to this person, give them a closure message in some way, shape, or form, something heartfelt, whatever that might be. I feel like that is being encouraged here in order for you to change your focus, because I do feel like for a lot of you, you're kind of like stuck on this situation, or like how things happened, and not feeling good about it. So I feel like for some of you, you definitely may have overreacted, or reacted maybe in not the kindest, lovingest way. So this could really talk about your last interaction with this person, or if you had a big fight with them and you're carrying around this, guilt, or like maybe something that you said that was really hurtful. Again, I do feel like in August you're going to be a little bit in your feels here, Taurus, coming through with the deer energy. And it's funny because, well, not funny, but we had Jupiter in Cancer. So that's really like, Cancer energy is very emotional, deep energy, feelings, emotions kind of coming to the surface. And with Jupiter being there, Jupiter expands everything it touches. So, that might be explain why you're kind of in your feels here, kind of feeling maybe a little bit nostalgic about this person, this situation, overplaying things in your head as well. We do have a bunch of retrogrades as well, and I believe that Neptune is slipping back into Pisces, or it's moving a little bit further back to like 0 degrees in Aries. So again, with all of these retrogrades, that also causes us to rethink the past, think about things that happened in the past, things that are holding us back in the past. And obviously there is some unresolved feelings about how something either played out or is going to play out in August. So for some of you, this may not have happened yet, but coming through with that energy, I do like it because I feel like for some of you, what might be holding you back by reaching out to this person and or possibly apologizing if you feel like you need to do that, is a win-win outcome is forecast. So I like this. I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying like you're going to feel so much better after you do this. As well, if you're thinking that this person's going to block you or have some harsh words, I don't think that they are. I feel like that's what Spirit is really trying to say here, is that, you know, in order to kind of like get this all off your chest, whatever's kind of been weighing you down, it's going to be received a lot better than you think. Okay, so hopefully that gives you some sort of, I guess, motivation maybe to do what you're really thinking that you want to do here, Taurus, in this situation with this person. The mutual energy between the two of you is Pluto. So, and again, I don't mean to laugh, but Pluto is like ruled by Mars, and Mars is like, you know, the god of war. So again, I feel like there was maybe a misunderstanding, something that kind of snowballed into like this big situation, and it didn't really have to or need to, but it did regardless, right? And I do feel like there was, you know, maybe some hurtful words that were said between you and this person. And yeah, now your person, I do feel like they are missing you. I feel like they feel bad as well. They got the orphan card here. So again, kind of feeling like they're on the outs with you in some way, shape, or form here, Taurus. I feel like this person is trusting that they'll hear from you, that you will reach out to them because they got the trust card here. And they also got patience. And on the patience card, it says, I accept that everything happens in divine order. So again, having that trust that they will hear from you, that you will reach out to them at some point. As well, this person can also be going through a lot of changes on a personal level, not necessarily just related to your relationship, but expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. And actually, we have a mini eclipse, I guess, on August 2nd, which I don't know. I didn't know that. I saw it on the Instagram or on Facebook or something. So there is a mini eclipse on August 2nd. So pay attention to that date. Um, you know, this is more relating to your person though. So if you're not in contact with them, but they're, you know, maybe it's around this time that this happens, or this is the time in which you actually reach out to this person, Taurus. They're coming through here with the bee energy. So this person is trying to, again, focus on the positive, focus on that the glass is half full. But I do feel like there's times, you know, where this person gets into this orphaned energy. Just like you know, I feel like you and this person are kind of mirroring each other, spending a lot of time thinking about each other. So that's definitely going on. I feel like you both kind of actually miss each other, if I'm being honest, regardless of what has happened here. So let's pull some cards here. I want to ask about what is Taurus thinking about? Why is this thinker card coming through on Taurus's side? And then we'll pull a couple cards on your person's energy, and then I'll ask directly about feelings and actions for August. As well, I want you guys to pay attention to the names. So whoever this person's name is, Spirit is definitely sending you a lot of signs and synchronicities. So kind of gives me, you know, maybe this person's name is Brian. And then, you know, every show that you turn on or movie that you watch, the main character or one of the characters in the show is named Brian, right? Could be, you know, billboards, commercials, anything. But that is coming through on the bottom of the There Are No Coincidences deck. All right, so we got the Nine of Cups. So I do feel like, you know, really, what is your wish here? I feel like, again, remember we were talking about what lights you up, what is it that you're really wanting? So there's that Nine of Cups coming out. What's really going to make you happy, Taurus? What changes can you make? You know, to have the best life, or to, reach your goals, or so that's really talking about that. This person could also, bring you a lot of joy in some way, shape, or form. So can also talk about wish fulfillment. Can I get another card on the Nine of Cups here? I'm just going to pull one more, see what we get. All right, Justice. Yeah, so this person, I don't know, for some of you, this person could be a Libra, could be in law, in law enforcement, could be, um, doesn't have to be, but they could be a lawyer, they could be, have something to do with the court system or legal system in some way, shape, or form. So in the Justice card, taking a hard look at yourself as well. So I do like that, because I do feel like, Taurus, you're trying to make changes for yourself as well. Like, maybe that's, going on, changing how you eat or exercise, or changing your focus, again, shifting towards your goals, making some goals, shifting your priorities. But this takes, I like it, because I do feel like it's like a balanced approach as to trying to figure out what's the best thing for you, you know. And there's the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck, which talks about success. So how are you going to get there, I guess? Does it have anything to do with this person? And again, it may or may not. Let's ask about this guilt card. Why is this showing up for Taurus for August? All right, we have the Knight of Wands. So for some of you, this could have been, the situation where maybe you didn't necessarily show up 100% for somebody. Maybe you feel like you let this person down on some level. Maybe you feel like this person really needed you and you couldn't emotionally go there with them to be their support. It's something along those lines. Because the Knight of Wands is somebody who is kind of in and out, maybe a little bit wishy-washy at times. And I'm not pointing the finger at you here, Taurus. This is your guilt, so take a look at, try and examine why you're feeling that way, or why weren't you able to maybe emotionally give to this situation or this person? Was it triggering you in some way? Because this kind of gives me the energy of somebody really needing you, but you choosing, not to emotionally engage in some way. And again, I'm not running you guys down. I'm trying to point out what Spirit's trying to emphasize. And again, only take it if it resonates for you that way. As well, thinking about, this person did make you really happy. Was it fair how, you handled the situation in some way, shape, or form? That could also be for some of you. Let's just clarify the Pluto card. I don't normally do that, but I feel like Spirit wants me to. So let's see here. It's card number 11 as well. 11 might mean something for you. So Four of Swords. Yeah, needing to heal this situation. And again, either to like set you free here, Taurus, from these feelings, and or just heal the situation with this person. So for some of you, if you really have no intention of getting back together with this person, or you really don't want to be in a relationship with this person, but maybe things, fell apart and it was not the best, right? You don't want to me, that's kind of like unresolved karma you kind of have with somebody. So I do feel like Spirit's encouraging you to deal with some unresolved karma. And again, that's what retrogrades do. And like I mentioned already, we have a bunch of planets in retrograde. So that's revisiting a situation that didn't have either proper closure or to heal the situation between you and them. That's really what this reading is kind of screaming at me here. Let's ask about a win-win outcome here. Seven of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you're wondering if this is really even a good idea to do or not. But I do feel like coming through with kindness, compassion, and some warmth is going to make a huge difference. Something sincere, you know, like a sincere apology to somebody, right? So I do feel like you're trying to figure out how to do that. What's the best thing to say? What's the best thing to do in this situation? All right, so let's take a look at your person here. Tell me about this orphaned card. Tell me about this orphaned card. Why is this person feeling this way? So we have the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah. Either this person is looking at the situation with you, Taurus, as a missed opportunity. So the Ace of Pentacles is, talks about, building something together. It's the brand new beginning. So either this person feels like they never really got the chance, and or they want to have a new opportunity with you, to build something together. The Ace of Pentacles is the beginning. All right, so let's see what we get on this trust card. Why is this trust card? This person could have, trust issues. This person may have some wounds around trust. You may have broken this person's trust on some way, shape, or form. Again, take it how it resonates. So we have the Queen of Wands coming out, which talks about somebody being bold, somebody taking action. I feel like this person feels like they did everything they could. I'm getting that. And now we have the King of Wands that wanted to come out. So this person feels like you and them are, a divine match, and don't get caught up in gender here. But we have a divine match. So this person is trusting the universe, trusting the situation that it is going to come back around. You and them are going to be able to kind of meet in the middle here, come to some sort of agreement, or like there is just like justice is going to kind of like happen in divine timing. The situation will work out. So this person's kind of giving everything up to the universe is really what I'm getting. Why is this expect powerful change, new moon eclipse? Maybe this person and you, if you can feel them energetically, then this person might be very intuitive and know that, or can feel that you're going to reach out. So could definitely have some telepathy between the two of you. Might be dreaming of each other. Like I said, pay attention to names in the month of August. Like intuitively, this person can feel that you're thinking about reaching out is really what I'm getting at. Yeah, we have the Sun card coming out. So, and we are going to be in Leo season here right away. And like I said, August 2nd, I said. Interesting. I like it. Thank you, Spirit. Tell me about this patience card, and then we'll look at this person's feelings and your feelings here, Taurus. Tell me about patience. And if you guys are wondering why I'm not shuffling my regular way, this deck is too big, so I have to cut until I have so many cards out, and then I can, yeah. So we have the Hermit. So this person's spending a lot of time on their own. They could also be making some pretty profound changes just in their personal life, changes for the better, things that are highlighted that, that they're not happy with about themselves either. So, I mean, everybody has things that we can learn and grow and change and, in order to be our best self. So I do feel like this person is trying trying to do that. So let's see here now. Let's ask about how this person's feeling about you, Taurus. Again, I feel like they are missing you. They feel like, you guys are meant for each other. And I'm just laughing because that in Sleepless in Seattle, when the little boy and his little girlfriend are talking, and then they're like, oh, what does that mean? And the little girl, basically says, that they're meant for each other. I can't remember what the abbreviation was. Somebody knows what that abbreviation was, let me know in the comments, but that's what I'm getting. It's like one of those things you do you know, true love forever kind of, I don't know. Anyhow, that's what's coming to mind. All right, let's see how this person feels about Taurus. How does this person feel about Taurus? Feelings, please. Feelings for Taurus. All right. So we have the Eight of Cups and Ten of Wands. I feel like this person knows why you had to walk away. So I do feel like it was you that pulled the pin here, Taurus. Can I get another card? Yeah, I do feel like this person, you know, they were, like I mentioned already, I feel like this person is sad that, like, about your last communication. I feel like you definitely made a choice or a decision that, you know, again, whatever played out, because the lovers actually is kind of like a choice. So, you know, once this person was made aware of, you know, what your decision was or what your choice was, they're trying to do their best here to kind of honor that and, you know, not, you know, bother you or approach you, give you the space that you need is really what I'm getting. Yeah. I feel like this person does still kind of, they may have said to you, like, you know, I'd love to hear from you, or, you know, this maybe isn't goodbye, you know, maybe goodbye for now, but not forever. Again, I feel like this person is still pretty hopeful. Let's see how Taurus is feeling. How does Taurus feel about this person? This person on their mind. How is Taurus feeling? So King of Pentacles. King of Cups. Can I get one more? The Devil. High Priestess. Lots of majors coming out in your feelings. The Emperor. Yikes. Okay. All right. I do feel like there's something about this situation with this person, Taurus, that makes you feel out of control. um yeah, and I don't know what that is. You know, with the Devil, the High Priestess, and the Emperor card, there's something about control kind of coming through. So being around this person makes you feel out of control, like you can't kind of wrap your arms around it. And again, I don't know what it is. It is going to be different for each and every one of you. You know, whatever the issue was between you and this person, again, it was like this situation is making me feel uncomfortable in some way, shape, or form. And there's like a sense of either when you're around this person, you lose yourself in somebody else. And if this person has any kind of issues, that's kind of like you losing yourself to whatever their issues are. And then you kind of feel like you're losing yourself in this situation. So I feel like you recognize that, you see that. It could definitely be seeing what you see in the water here with that Justice card. It doesn't mean you don't still care about this person, because I do feel like you do. But there's some sort of disruption in feeling out of control in this situation with this person. So I don't know if this person really overwhelms you, kind of smothers you in some way, shape, or form. But I do feel like intuitively you do feel drawn to this person. And you might be trying to figure out why. Like, why am I still thinking about this situation with this person? Or why is this person still on my mind? And I feel like the clue here from Spirit is because however you felt like you let this person down in some way, shape, or form, that is really going to help you release the situation if that's really what you want to do. You know, for others of you, you maybe might need to look at, like, why does the situation make me feel uncomfortable? What about it Why do I feel like I need to control the situation, or what is it about this person or this situation that I find triggering? Because I do feel like this person or you probably triggered each other. And I mean, that's what relationships are really supposed to do. I mean, that's why you meet people. I don't feel like that's random. You meet people on purpose, you choose them subconsciously. You might not be consciously aware of why you chose this person to be in a relationship with you, but your subconscious knows, and you did it on purpose. And that's for your own, soul's growth, what you're supposed to learn from each other. So, but I do feel like, this causes discomfort. You feel uncomfortable in some way, shape, or form, either with your feelings. It makes you feel vulnerable. You can't control, you get swept up in this person. So I do feel like, very strong connection between you and them for sure. Maybe, on an intuitive level, you and this person definitely could have had some sort of past life together. And again, I do actually believe in that. I mean, you don't have to, but I do. Again, finding each other despite, everything that's going on. If you really sit back and you think, what had to happen for me to even meet this person, and kind of, go back in time to look at all the different things that, where you had to be, and like, what happened that day, and like, maybe I don't ever move to that city, or um, just so many things. It's pretty mind blowing if you take a step back and kind of look at that. Anyhow, enough rambling. Let's see here. What? Ooh, the Hierophant wanted to come out. So again, spiritual lessons, that Hierophant card. Let's see here. Actions from this person. Is this person going to take any action towards Taurus here in August? Let's see what comes out. I don't feel like they're going to, but never say never. The Tower. Okay. There's kind of a lot of cards here. Spirit, Five of Swords, Ten of Swords, Nine of Wands. I do feel like this person's really in the energy of like, after everything that has happened between the two of you, I do feel like this person still is holding on to hope, but it was painful, It was painful for this person, whatever, transpired between the two of you. But as you can see in this Nine of Wands, there's one wand left, right? Holding on to this one wand. So I do feel like, really, if you and this person, do manage to work things out, come to some sort of healing space, or heal the situation between each other, I feel like this person still has hope for that. But I do feel like it's a little bit, I don't want to say, I feel like as more time goes by, this person's, it's becoming less and less, right? And again, somebody needing to take some action. And again, I feel like that's you here, Taurus. The Chariot, moving things forward, trusting the universe. So let's see here. What actions is Taurus going to take? Any action from Taurus in August? Sorry, guys. My fingers are, these cards are feeling slippery. All right, so we have the Ten of Cups coming out. Eight of Swords. The Star card. Not surprised to see that. All right. Oh, sorry, it wasn't the Star card. It was the Three of Cups. That's funny. Maybe I'll look and see where the star is. So it looks to me you have some reservations, right? Like we already talked about. I don't want to repeat myself here. So Eight of Swords is very much like the Justice card here. So I do feel like for a lot of you, examining your situation, what really makes you happy. Again, I feel like for a lot of you, maybe you've been kind of avoiding taking any action, but I do feel like with that Three of Cups, it's almost like you don't want to admit it to yourself here, Taurus, that you do want to see this person, Can I get a card on the Eight of Swords here, Spirit. What's this Eight of Swords? I just want to clarify. What's the Eight of Swords here? Two of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you're kind of questioning your choice. That Two of Wands, Eight of Swords. Again, remember we talked about the Seven of Cups here, about, you know, how is this going to go if, I reach out? Is this the best decision for myself? I do feel like those things are crossing your mind. So is Taurus going to do anything about this, Spirit? Is Taurus going to do anything? Two of Pentacles. I keep getting twos. So I do feel like, again, weighing the pros and the cons here of doing that. But I do feel like, whatever's been eating you up here, Taurus, you need to get it out. So however you need to do that, I feel like takes, I feel like there's the Page of Wands. So that's like sending out a message, going for it, sending it out. So I feel like you're kind of on the fence here. Kind of on the fence. But really in your feels, for the month of August here, what's the best thing to do here in this situation? So I can't really answer that for you. It looks to me like, again, you're on the fence here. The underlying energy here is the Page of Wands. So that's, putting it out there, sending a message. Again, if you just want to deal with these feelings and not reach out to this person, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I do feel like for a lot of you, you do want to see this person with that Three of Cups card coming out. But, some reservations. But I feel like it's going to go better than you think. Just saying. So, I would just say do it, That's really what you want at the end of the day. I'm a sucker for a good love story here, so I'm going to say do it. I don't know. I'd rather be the person wearing my heart on my sleeve than have any regrets. So, but you don't have to agree with me. You do you. So let's get some messages here from this person, something Taurus may not know. And then I'm going to end your guys' reading here. So, messages, something Taurus may not know. This is from the Lover Oracle. Messages to Taurus, please. All right, we have I'm afraid to lose you. Why do I feel so lost? I long for your kiss. Whoa. I can't express myself. The bottom of the deck is people don't believe in me. Any other messages here for Taurus? Sorry guys, I have to split the deck because the deck's too big for me to shuffle. Life without you is hopeless, dark, depressing. I miss your light. You've triggered me. Funny. We talked about that. All right. I wish I could be fully honest with you. Sex with you. Coming out. What is the truth? So, some things to think about here, Taurus. I hope this reading helped in some way, shape, or form. If it did resonate, if you could let me know as a reader by hitting the like button or making a comment, really appreciate it. And if you want to be notified when I have new content out, make sure you hit that notifications bell. Probably your mid-month reading, probably going to aim for around August 10th to the 12th, in around that range. So you guys take care till then, and I look forward to having you guys in my energy again. Take care, guys.